This is the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
Hey, welcome to the city of Jacksonville, where they now, along with the Jacksonville Jaguars, own a dubious mark of an 18-game losing streak. Third longest of all time in the history of the NFL, tied with the Tennessee Titans. Detroit is on the list next at 19. And hopefully, folks, for your sake and all of ours, the Jaguars do not tie or break the all-time record of the Tampa Bay Bucks at 26. The Jaguars lose 31-19 to the Arizona Cardinals. Welcome inside TIAA Bank Field. It's now gone empty. Players off the field, players in the locker room. Victorious for Arizona. Once again, not so much for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 0-3 under Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence, and they had it. They had a chance here. It was energized in this building at about 3:10. 19-10 lead for the Jaguars. 9-point lead for the Jaguars at about 3:10. Maybe it was a little later than that, 3:15. Less than a half hour later, the Jaguars were down by 12. 21 straight points just like that. Two more missed extra points for Josh Lambo. That means he continues to miss kicks. No field goals tries today, but missed 3 field goals coming into the game, 0 for 3, and now 2 straight misses on the extra points as well. That's a major problem in Jacksonville. Those are momentum killers. We experienced that with Jason Myers as well. He would make field goals, but he couldn't make the extra point, and that seemed to change a little bit of the momentum in the second half today for the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals proved why they're pretty good. They blitzed the Jags really in the final 20 minutes of this football game, forced 4 turnovers, one right at the end on a fumble and a sack by Trevor Lawrence. James Robinson forced Trevor Lawrence to fumble by really blocking and walking right into him. It becomes a comedy of errors for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you leave this football game, Jaguars lose 31-19 to Arizona, and it's not like you come away and say, wow, man, Arizona was good. Because we thought that coming in. We thought, wow, this really could be an Arizona team that might be among the elite in the NFL, which they may be. They're 3-0. But they didn't look that way out on the field today. There wasn't anything wow, really, about the Arizona Cardinals. It was more the ineptitude of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's the problem. They're just a bad football team, and they continue to be. Last year, this year, they just can't make the right plays. They just can't make the right calls, and they make big mistakes at inopportune times, and that goes for the rookie quarterback, too. The pick 6 was huge. Jaguars up 19-17. They call a flea flicker. Was it a good play call? Probably not. It didn't work, so it definitely wasn't. But they call a flea flicker after basically just running all the way down the field on Arizona, and the Jaguars end up throwing a pick 6. That was the huge difference in the game to really turn the tide at 24-19. You know, the one bright spot for the Jacksonville Jaguars continues to be Jamal Agnew. Kick return touchdown last week, and then late in the half, a 109-yard return off a missed 68-yard attempt by Matt Prater. It was a dumb decision by Cliff Kingsbury. Jamal Agnew turned it into 6 points, and this place was rocking going into halftime. 13-7, Jaguars led. He's on the podium right now here on our Jaguars postgame show.
Coming straight to you.
I mean, that's probably one of my favorite ones to, I mean, I've never done it before, but, I mean, it's all offensive linemen, probably a couple tight ends, and then the kicker. So, you know, my thinking was, obviously I know Prater from playing in Detroit. I know he's capable of that, but he was going into the wind. It was a 68-yarder, and I was like, if he doesn't get this, I'm probably going to score. And, you know, everybody, you know, they made the wall for me on the left side of the field. And it was just like that spark we needed, you know, before halftime. You know, we just couldn't get the job done.
Now we'll go to Melissa.
Jamal, kind of give your thoughts, like, once you guys did go into the locker room, what was that conversation like after you guys were able to nab that touchdown?
I mean, we were juiced. You know, we always talk about, you know, somebody making that big play, you know, somebody creating that spark. You know, the locker room was hyped up, and, you know, we came out second half. Dewey got the pick, first drive. You know, the morale was way up. I just think we got to be more consistent throughout the game. You know, we talk a lot about riding the roller coaster of emotions throughout the game. You know, NFL games are so up and down. You can't let the ups, you know, you can't let the good things take you too up, and then you can't let the bad things take you all the way down. So, you know, we just got to be consistent, and, you know, it's a long season. You know, it's just week 3, so.
Did you say this was the first time you've ever lined up to take or ever had a chance to return a missed field goal?
Yeah, that was my first time.
Ever. So, and that was a surprise?
I mean, now, like I said, it's all big dudes out there, so I just can't get tackled by the kicker. Honestly, that's my thought process. I knew I just had to, stem them vertical just to get their feet stopped and then just try to use my speed, get to the sideline. Somebody almost got me down by my shirt, and thankfully he didn't.
So at what point did you realize, yeah, I'm going to score on this one?
As soon as the ball was short, I knew they're probably not going to catch me because I'm going to just use my speed. Everybody else set that wall up for me on the left, and, we created that spark play right before the halftime.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. Back-to-back weeks with the special teams touchdown. Does it make the locker room any easier to know that one phase of the three is on the right progression, and how long until everybody gels and gets on the same page?
We're getting there. I mean, you can see by from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. Offensively we're getting a little bit better. Defensively we're getting a little bit better. Special teams, there's definitely some things we can clean up. Whether it's me, making the right cuts, us blocking our right assignments, but we're not perfect out there. And you can see from week to week we're getting better on offense, defense, and special teams. So I think we're trending upwards. Obviously, like I said, we got to be a lot more consistent throughout the game. But I mean, like I said, it's a long season.
Are you expecting a phone call from Ed Reed?
You said from Ed Reed? That'd be great. Obviously, you used to watch guys like Devin Hester, Dante Hall, all those guys, and Devin Hester shouted me out once my rookie year, and that was probably like one of the best days of my life.
Thanks, Alex. We'll finish with Dan, and then we got Marvin Jones coming right in.
Jamal, just when you have these individual positives at just a few weeks into the season, but the team is 0-3, how do you assess what you're proud of individually as compared to what you want to work on, kind of going off of some of the stuff you said?
I don't even really think about it like that, just because. I've been in the league for 5 years. I haven't been in the playoffs. I want to win. I think I'm at that point where, I'm making big plays, but I'm at that point where I want to win. I want a Super Bowl. I want to, play in the playoffs. I want to play, meaningful games in December and January. And like I said, we're trending upwards. We're a really young team, and week by week we're getting a little bit better at a time. We got a short week coming up, and we just got to focus on Cincinnati, clean up what we got to clean up, and get right to Cincinnati.
Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
That is Jamal Agnew. Jaguars get some big plays out of the specialist game. Special teams in a big way with Jamal Agnew. And now special teams have been a mixed bag because of Josh Lambo. But last week, kickoff return, that was big at the moment. Didn't really help anything at the end of the day. But this was huge here. They scored 14 points in like matter of seconds. So it was a big deal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jamal Agnew was the first free agent signing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he's coming up big here early in the season, just 3 weeks into his Jags career. You heard him play. He's been playing for 5 years. He has 7 returns for touchdowns. 7 of them in his career, if you count punt returns, kick returns, and now that return off the missed field goal. Marvin Jones is heading to the podium. He talks now to the media after the Jaguars lose 31 to 19.
Not be able to get in a rhythm for most of the game today. It almost seemed like a carryover from last week where you guys kind of got in that lull. How do you get the offense jump started to where you can have that consistency all game?
I think, you're right early. I think it was like that. I think we started with a couple 3-and-outs and stuff. But, I felt like we were in rhythm. At one point it was a great rhythm, constantly, going down the field, driving down the field. We had some great moments as an offense. That's all I can say.
Marvin, back here. This is obviously a young team. You're the veteran on this team. What was the conversation at halftime, knowing that this was the first lead that this franchise had had since Week 13 of last year?
I think it was like, hey, we don't need to say anything. What we're doing right now, as a team, especially, you see the defense, obviously with the big play from Ag, we were up, and it was like no conversation. Like, let's just go out there and play. And I think that worked. When the defense went out there, they were playing with some intensity and stuff like that. And later on, we started doing some good things. Particularly on the ground and stuff like that. So hey, that was the question. That was what was said.
So then, as things kind of spiral in that third quarter, how does the conversation on the sideline change?
It's the same. You just have to do better. You have to get up and be like, hey, we'll end it. And let's go out there and do our thing. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Marvin,
Carlos had a big play on that 2-minute drive at the end of the quarter, and then the way James ran the ball in the third quarter, even though it didn't work out, is that a promising sign there that the running game got on track today?
That was a big spark. Carlos, before that play, he was like, "Hey, let's push him off the ball." And I mean, he made a great play, and it was a good team effort and individual effort by him. So we need those plays to provide that spark, and he did. All week. I think that was the word, the spark. So I think there was a lot of sparks out there. Just didn't go our way.
Marvin, just what you can say about Trevor Lawrence 3 weeks in, despite the 0-3 record, just what you're taking from him and maybe, your relationship as you grow through these first 3 games.
I think it's a great relationship, with me and, all the receivers and just our 5 groups on offense. Obviously, he's our quarterback and we rally behind him. Very promising, and just the type of throws that he makes. That he's going to be a great quarterback. So as an offense, as a whole, we need to find a way to just all make plays, make the big plays. So constantly, as y'all mentioned, and we'll be right on track.
Where were you on Jamal's kick return for the touchdown? Did you get a good view of it, and when did you think, yeah, he was gone?
Well, right when he touched it. That's my guy, and I know when he gets the ball, and all those linemen were on the field, I was like, it's over. That guy, when the ball's in his hands, and I said this when I first got here. He deserves all the hype that he gets, because he's the best in the league. I think so. I think everybody was. I wasn't too shocked, but it was a great moment for the team. So we just need to continue to feed off stuff like that, and we'll be solid.
Marvin, over here. What do you say? If anything, do you say to Trevor after a game like this? He's probably going to take all the blame on himself with the 3 turnovers. He's a rookie. What do you say to him to make sure that he doesn't let it bleed into Thursday?
Just keep going. And I know the type of personality he is, he'll keep going. So that's pretty much all you say. That's all you need to say. He's very mature, especially for his age and being a rookie. And I know nobody's going to work harder than him, to go on Thursday and put up a good performance. But me as a vet, I say go home and drink some wine. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, go ahead. Take care.
That is Marvin Jones, Jaguars wide receiver, free agent signing coming over from Detroit. And you know what? He's been very good for the Jags so far. 6 more catches today, 62 yards, no touchdowns, but he did have a touchdown in the first 2 games. He has lived up to the billing, and he's really got a nice relationship with Trevor Lawrence, the rookie. You heard from the veteran Marvin Jones. Urban Meyer heading to the podium right now. If he's ready, let's hear what the head coach of the Jags has to say. 0 for 3 in his NFL career.
About the game. Phoenix is a good team. They're put together. Trent and I looked at that team, and they're put together in the right areas. Good players. I just want to win so damn bad for our players and for Jacksonville. The crowd was, appreciate them coming out and the noise and we're going to get this thing going. I know I said that last week, but damn, they played hard. And our players played their asses off today. So just got to eliminate some mistakes and learn how to win. I'll answer questions.
Hey, Coach, you talked this week about needing to get that spark. It felt like that.
Sparks everywhere, man. Just didn't do it.
How deflating can it be for the locker room when you have that sort of energy, at halftime, and you aren't able to take advantage of it in the second half?
That's a great question, and we're going to find out. That's my job, to get them back and keep that energy going, because the energy, I'm telling you, the locker room's as good as locker rooms I've ever had. And I told them that. I appreciate them. We're coming back in a few days here and get ready for the road trip. And they played in heat, played a lot of plays against a talented team and cramping and all that stuff that goes with that kind of a ball game. But I just have too much belief in these players. I have belief that, you think about against who's in that defensive front, and it marches down the field and comes slamming off the ball like our offensive line did, and the back's running hard. And we just just got to finish it.
Urban, do you feel like you're making progress, and do you balance? I mean, obviously it's a wins and losses business, but do you see progress that you want to see here heading in that direction?
Yeah, I see a lot of progress. Obviously, like you said, this is a production-based business we're all in, and you look on the one-loss column, it's not good. But yeah, I still believe we got a good enough team to make some moves this year and win some games. So I do believe we're making progress.
Urban, is there any concern? Are you starting to get concerned about Trevor's mentality, confidence at all? I mean, I think 7-8 turnovers in the first 3 games.
Yeah, I worry about everything. But Trevor's a unique individual, and he competes competed his tail off. We just gotta. That's something that when something's not there, throw it away. And one of them was not his fault. One was a drop pass. Can't do that with a young quarterback. Can't do that. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable with an old quarterback, but you just can't do that. And it just drives you nuts. So I'm worried about it, but like I said, I'm worried about everything. He's a unique cat now. I know what he's going to be like tomorrow. Same way he was last week. He's one of the most consistent players I've been around.
You were able to find the soft spots in Arizona's secondary, and Lawrence looks a little bit more comfortable in the pocket. Do you believe it's just a bad, unfortunate interceptions or exhaustion that led to the third quarter explosion?
The third quarter, I can barely hear you.
My apologies. Lawrence has more rapport in the pocket. He looks a little bit more comfortable, and you were able to find soft spots in Arizona's secondary. You were up at the half. Do you think the reason for the end of the third quarter, the fourth quarter, was due to the lack of depth at corner or heat?
The lack of depth at corner?
Henderson and Herndon didn't play today.
Oh, yeah. Worried about that. Yeah. I thought they hung in there, and one, I got to go back. I just remember looking up. It looked like he just floated the ball in the air. We didn't make a play on it. Yeah, I'm worried about our depth at corner with CJ and Trey. We get Trey back, and I think CJ's back this week too. So we should be full strength next week.
Urban offensive line wasn't very good, and Josh Lambo, you backed him last week. Do you have to do something there this week?
You say offensive line?
Offensive line was very mediocre, and obviously gave up a couple of key on a couple of the turnovers, gave up some pressures.
I don't know that. I'll get you more information after watching. I just thought that it was one of the best performances against a good defensive front, pushing the ball. How many? I didn't even look at the stats. 2 sacks, and then one was a pressure on that pick six. We'll discuss the line. I thought, I kind of thought we controlled the line of scrimmage, but I'll let you know on Monday, I guess, when we talk. Lambo, I made that comment, man. The guy he's the hardest working specialist I've ever had, but it's also reality. We're missing extra points, so I'm not sure what we're going to do, but, I'm like everybody. I want to see him make it because he works so damn hard at it.
Did you sign off on the flea flicker before they went out on it?
No, I sign off on everything. So.
Did you like that play call there? And you said before that if you're going to do a trick play, it needs to have an element of surprise. It's a lot easier to do from your own 20 than maybe the opposing 40.
Yeah, I always tell Bev to be aggressive. As I've always told my coordinators all along the years is, let me be the overruler of, be the aggressive guy. And I heard it come over the headset, and I obviously I didn't stop it. And then I looked up and I saw DJ behind the defense. We were behind him. It was a big one. And then I look up and the ball is picked. So, it's the decision I've made a long time ago is be aggressive, and you got to be smart, but be aggressive.
Urban, James Robinson finally breaks out today. What was the conversation between you and the playback here with the play callers as far as getting him the ball, and how can you evaluate his performance today as well as Carlos?
I thought he was fantastic. He's been practicing like that. He had I thought Carlos ran hard. I couldn't be more, just probably need to give him the ball even a little bit more. But yeah, that was impressive, especially who you're playing. That team's a good team, and just had them on their heels, and I think it was 8 straight runs. you know, in that third quarter. So, yeah, those guys are running hard, and we're going to continue to get them the ball.
Kind of going along with Mark's question to combine them then. Were you surprised after 8 straight runs that then on the next play the flea flicker was called, knowing how well the run game was going?
I think I just answered that. You know, it's, you know, you look back now, and it's going to be a hard one to get out of my mind. But it's, you know, you also want creativity in your offense, which I'm always pushing those guys very hard on that. I'm pushing the aggressiveness before every game. I be aggressive, and then if, you know, it's my job to say if it's not there, don't do that.
Irvin, what did you see on Agnew's 109-yard return, and what was it like getting that set up when you realized that Kingsbury was going to go for the 68-yarder?
Well, I couldn't believe they were going to kick it, and our Nick Sorensen said he can hit. He saw him in the pre-practice hitting him in pregame, hit him at 63 without really swinging hard. I've never seen that in my life. So we had it set up. We've practiced that. We worked it, and that kid's a dynamic guy with the ball in his hand. Agnew, glad we got him. The same thing we saw. That's why we went after him in free agency. That's a game changer, and he's an even better guy than he is a player. So, yeah, we got to find ways to. We got to get him loose on a punt return. You know, that we haven't done that yet.
Urban, I'm just wondering if you're able to say anything to Trevor, not only after the flea flicker went awry, but just after the game in general, because certainly he'll take a lot of the blame on himself with the 3 turnovers, even though, as you said, one of them wasn't really his fault.
3 turnovers.
I'm sorry?
That was just 2.
4. 2 fumbles.
Oh, sorry. But did you say anything to Trevor just to make sure that there's not any, you know, loss of confidence or anything, or that
I haven't had a chance. We just did this, and I came right in, so I will grab him.
How about after the flea flicker? Say anything?
I just grabbed him afterwards. Like I can't remember what I said to him, but we got a great relationship, and the coaches all do, and the players love him to death. So yeah, he's going to continue to get better, and we're going to go win a game with him.
Did you feel like that was one where you probably should have just thrown it away?
I haven't seen a film of it yet. That's what it looked like to me when I looked up at the board. But
Coach, just through the first 3 games with Trevor, just what you can say about assessing his play up to this point, his leadership up to this point, as you look at the big picture stepping into a short week.
Big picture, other than score, leadership, intangibles, the work ethic, the character, the desire to be great, his teammates, his support from his teammates, his support of other teammates. He's a very unique guy. One that really I've been very fortunate to coach some elite players, and he's one of the most elite, just the way he handles himself. And like I said, he's a 2nd or 3rd most votes on the team as a rookie quarterback. The players love him. They see what I see. They see what the world's going to see. And that's a hell of a player that cares deeply for Jacksonville, cares deeply for his teammates. It's really, it's a refreshing guy to be around every day, and he will get better. I guarantee you that.
With Florida National News, what are you focusing on for the team to improve upon heading into Thursday's game?
Well, first I got to get him healthy, and that was a tough go today. So I'm going to go from here and just start getting ready for that game, and then my big thing is about just the health. You know, how we're going to get these guys hydrated up and ready for a good team with Cincinnati. So the focus is just, you know, the focus going into this one, they need some big plays, and we made them. And obviously not enough, so that's going to be the focus. Just need to learn how to, you know, I think twice now, we were winning at halftime, right?
Yes.
And then last week we should have been winning at halftime, and it's just the second half, I guess, would be the focus, right? So we, what was the score at halftime? 13-7. 13-7. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
That is Urban Meyer, their head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he is 0-3 for the first time in his life as a head coach. First time he was 0-2. Quite frankly, it was the first time he was 0-1. So this is new. Urban Meyer in the NFL, it's not been great. They have progressively gotten better at certain things. but they certainly haven't won a lot of football games. Trevor Lawrence got hit a lot today. It'll be a trip to the cold tub for sure for Trevor Lawrence as he continues to turn the football over. 4 of them today for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and one of the interceptions wasn't his fault. The flea flicker interception, pick 6, was really costly. A turnover to end the game on a sack fumble, and then his own guy ran into him. So really just the pick 6 was kind of his mistake, it felt like. But overall, Trevor Lawrence, it's a lot of turnovers in 3 games now, and only Peyton Manning threw more interceptions through the first 3 games of his career than Trevor Lawrence has. So that's not kind of what you want to be doing. Jags got to get him more comfortable. They tried to run the football a little bit more. Let me know if Trevor is at the podium. I know he's headed there, but let me know when he is. The offensive line was leaky today. They missed some big blocks. And on the flea flicker, if you go back and watch it, Andrew Norwell just got spun all around. You can question the call, where it was on the field, but the flea flicker usually buys you some time, especially after they ran the ball so well. And J.J. Watt just schooled Andrew Norwell and hit Trevor really quick, and the clock sped up. He didn't have time to step into anything. He just lofted up there, which was his mistake. And then it was a pick by Murphy and a pick 6 and a huge play in the football game. And this place just deflated. I was out in the crowd at that time, and it just was like a balloon had popped for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're waiting on Trevor Lawrence as Urban Meyer and Trevor are talking outside the post-game room right now. And we will get Trevor Lawrence in just a moment. You know, Kyler Murray, the over-under for touchdowns for Kyler Murray today was 4.5. He had 1 rushing touchdown. He also threw an interception. Jags defense, we'll talk more about them in a moment. Let's talk about the offense more and hear from Trevor Lawrence, the Jags rookie quarterback, 0-3 in his career.
I knew you meant Marvin, big wine guy, so. What you got?
Not an ideal, obviously, game, 4 turnovers for you. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, nothing changes. Gosh, I'm sick because I feel like we should have won that game. But yeah, nothing changes. I thought we got a lot better today, and you could tell there were some sparks. We made some plays. Collectively, the defense, gosh, they played great, especially against the weapons over there that the Cardinals have. I mean, you can't ask for any more out of that. Same thing, it's just got to be more consistent. You know, that pick 6 killed us, obviously. That's all on me. Got to just be smart and eat it, throw the ball away right there. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, it's all there, though. Like you see, we're getting better, but it's frustrating because we got to finish these games. We need to win these. And last 2 weeks, I really felt like we could have won these past 2 games. So, and those are 2 good teams we played. So it's like we got everything we need. Which is great, but it makes it more frustrating because there's just got to finish the game. Hats off to the Cardinals. They did a really good job. Second half on defense, mixing things up, got some pressure, did a really good job. But, no, there was things to build on, and we fought. Same thing, we fought to the very end, and it sucks losing, especially that way. But we're going to get better.
Hey, Trevor, 3rd loss in a row, and you're on a short week getting ready for Cincinnati. In this case, does it actually help that you have a game so quick for the turnaround that you can't dwell on such a tough loss like this one?
I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to dwell. This team's been great about just going back to work, and it doesn't really matter if you think about it. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose the game. You still got another game next week, so if you win, you got to go back to work and get ready to play again. If you lose, same thing. So the team's been great about that. I'm not worried about that at all. Biggest thing is getting our guys healthy. You know, I don't really know what that looks like now. Everyone seems to be feeling okay, but just getting healthy because we only have 3 days before we play, 3 full days. So that'll be big, just resting up, getting healthy, and going and trying to get a win next week. We feel good about where we're at. We're making a ton of progress, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I don't want to hear that either. Like I wish we would have won tonight or today, and we should have, I think. But it's all about what you do and how you execute, and we didn't finish the game. So we're close. We're getting there, but we're ready to go back to work, get ready for Cincinnati.
Trevor, on the pick 6, did you realize as soon as you threw it that it was one of those oh no?
So that was we had a trick play there, and I kind of had a guy on my face, so I threw it off my back foot, and I really didn't see the corner fall off on it there. But
kind of saw him as the ball was coming down. So just not a good decision. But yeah, I didn't really see the guy there. I thought we had our tight end Jake open, and but like I said, I was off my back foot, didn't help, and then got to just throw it away if a guy's close, and protect that. You can't. Defense has been playing great, and just give them 7 points there, which just makes it tough.
As a follow-up, what did Urban say to you after the game just now?
Man, we just talked, and we said to each other, like, we got each other's back. We're in it together, and like I said, we're getting better. And, I don't have any doubt about this team, and, nothing's changed for me. So it's not going back to the drawing board. It's not any of that. Like, we just got to keep going to work, and we're going to win. We're going to win some of these games. So nothing's changed.
Trevor, from an offensive standpoint, you were able to run the ball more today, better today as well. How much of a factor was that in you as an offense getting into a little bit more of a rhythm there in the third quarter? And then, after that, the trouble came back up. So was it simply a matter of just not running the ball enough, as the game went on?
No, I thought Coach Bev called a great game. Like I said, there was a few plays, like the one, what was I going to say? The interception early. I mean, just a fluke. Tip goes to him like a crazy play. It's just like unlucky. It's going to happen sometimes. We were in the red zone. Should have had some points there. Then later we were in the red zone again. J-Rob was coming across to try to pick up a guy on a blitz and hit my elbow, like fumble. Stuff like that usually doesn't happen and won't happen a lot. It just happened today, and that was unfortunate. You got to come back from those, though. And then, I thought the play calling was great. Coach Bev did a great job mixing everything up, the tempo, run game, pass game. But like I said, I thought we played really complimentary football in the first half. The defense played great all day, and then in the second half, like I said, the pick six hurt us, and then you get down a little bit, and then we had can't remember if we had a 3-and-out or ended up punting or what the next drive, but then we ended up getting down 12 with 6 minutes left, got the ball back, we were driving, and then had that fumble on probably like the 20-yard line going in to score, and that would have made it a 5-point game if we would have scored. And then we give our defense a chance. They get a stop, and we get the ball back with, minute 30, 2 minutes left, and got a chance. So that's just how it goes sometimes, though. Defense made a great play. That happens, but we just got to keep playing complimentary. I thought we did a way better job today than we did the past 2 weeks, though. So we're making strides.
Trevor, how do you assess yourself through these first 3 games, kind of looking back at it? And we just heard Coach say that you love Jacksonville. You want to see this city win. So just what you can say about the city itself, maybe some words to the fans, and how you assess yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's this thing's going in the right direction for sure. And I feel like if you're involved with this team, you know it. We all know it. We all believe it. We got a bunch of great guys in that locker room, great coaches. Everybody in the city has been amazing. Just hang in there. It's going to come. So we're all believing it. We're putting the work in, and it's going to come sooner rather than later. So a lot of bright days are ahead. So I would just say, but thank the fan. I thank you guys for. I mean, the stadium was packed when Ag ran that kickback. I guess the field goal back. I mean, it erupted. It was awesome. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Trevor, I think the stat is in your first 3 games as a rookie, it's like you, Peyton, Troy Aikman, Blake Bortles with 2 or more turnovers in each of those games. I know your sophomore year at Clemson, you kind of had a similar stretch there. Do you draw back on that experience right now, or are you just flushing all of this and just saying it's just, circumstance, like you said, that the ball just bounced that way in regards to having so many picks?
I mean, yes and no. There was the one bad decision. Can't happen. I had one today that's turned into a pick six. I just can't do that. The other ones, ball security in the pocket on the last play of the game that they ended up stripping. That's one I can learn from. And I mean, you learn from all of them, but you can't let it change the way you play. As far as making better decisions, that does need to change for sure. But I got to be the same guy. I still have to go play. I can't play timid and not take any shots or chances. But no, I feel like I'm learning a lot. I thought, honestly, besides the one pick on the flea flicker play, I thought my decisions were great. I thought we moved the ball We executed well. Thought I was a lot more accurate today than I was the past 2 games. And I thought the receivers did a great job making plays.
In college or high school, how would you evaluate your confidence where it stands right now?
I'm the same person. Like I said, that's not going to change. I think that's part of the reason why I'm here. I'm going to be the same person every day. So that's not going to change, and it's not changing in the locker room either. So we're going to be all right.
Are you getting questions over here? Sorry. Are you getting questions from friends, family about your confidence, about your mindset at all, and how do you answer those if they're asking you?
Yeah, I mean, people check in, like family and friends, make sure I'm doing good. Obviously, it's like this has been different than the rest of my career has gone, but I just tell them, like, we're good. You know, it's like people on the outside typically don't really understand what's in the locker room, the guys we have, and I feel good about who we got, and I know this like 3rd loss in a row, but I know we're heading in the right direction, so I'm not worried. And the best thing is that the team just keeps going back to work, which is cool. Like, no one's coming in on Monday like, you know, damn, we lost again. Like, let's go win the next one, and it's cool to be a part of. So nothing's going to change for me. Like I said, I'm gonna always be the same guy, and we're gonna get this thing turned around. Thank you all.
That's Trevor Lawrence, and he makes you feel a little bit better, doesn't he? I mean, the maturity about Trevor Lawrence and handling this situation, the losses, and you know, him and Urban Meyer said they love this football team. They like going to work with these guys. They like going to battle with these guys. The bottom line is the Jags aren't good enough. I mean, they can have a good locker room. Their talent is just not good enough. That's what you saw out here today. They made some big plays, and they still end up losing by 12. After being up by 9 in the 3rd quarter. So we know that. Jags were a 1-15 team. They had lost 15 in a row coming into this whole ordeal, and now they've lost 3 in a row to start the Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence era. But he does put things in perspective rather quickly. It is worth noting, again, I mean, just a beautiful throw and a nice catch by DJ Chark for the touchdown. And if you think about what he just said, there was a blown block on that flea flicker. He shouldn't have thrown it anyway. He should have ate it. But it's a blown. You just can't miss that block if you're Andrew Norwell. And my contention with this football team so far this year is he just doesn't have veteran guys making plays for him. Jacob Hollister, one goes off his hands, picked off. Josh Lambo can't make kicks. Guys have dropped passes. And, again, Trevor's going to make mistakes, and he hasn't been perfect, far from it. But Andrew Norwell misses a block on a huge play. And if you go back and watch that play, again, we can question the play call. It didn't work, so it's a bad call where it was on the field. But Marvin Jones might be wide open down there, and he has time to throw it. Might be a touchdown. It might be a perfect call, and we're talking about it and applauding him. So it's a tight game with those kind of mistakes. And I thought it was interesting Trevor brought up. They were inside the red zone when the Hollister pick happened. They obviously have the pick 6, so that's points. They fumbled 2 times deep into the all 4 turnovers. Big-time points. Now, who knows if Josh Lambo makes any of those kicks, even if he had to. But big-time points off the board. So they were devastating turnovers. Well, let's be honest. The last one wasn't devastating. It was just part of the game. And the Jags were trying to just make a garbage-time rally. But overall, the Jags with big turnovers in this football game today to offset a couple of big plays of their own, especially the Jamal Agnew play. Defense overall had to, you have to give it to them. I thought they played pretty well. 31 points and really 24 on them to Arizona. That's really good. And the yards will be about 400. But overall, Jaguars defense played pretty well today and really gave the offense a chance. So you got to tip your cap to the defense. And they did get the first interception, first turnover of the year. That's Andrew Wingard. We're going to break the game down tonight. What happened with the offense? Where do you find a win? Cincinnati, by the way, now 2-1. The Jags go a short week, and they are getting... they better take a couple of cold tubs each day because this was a bruiser out here for Lawrence and a couple other guys that are banged up. Maybe they get Henderson back. Maybe they get Trey Herndon to finally make his 2021 debut. But Joe Burrow and the Bengals are 2-1. They'll host the Jaguars Thursday. Will be there in Cincinnati, of course, for that game. Jaguars still trying to find the first win of the Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence era, trying to break an 18-game losing streak if you date back to last year. That's going to do it for our crew here at TIAA TIAA Bank Field. Jaguars will be home in a couple of weeks at the bank against the Tennessee Titans. 0-3 now on the year. The Arizona Cardinals win 31-19. We'll talk all about it tonight on Action Sports Jax Primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. And Jihad Ward will join us tomorrow from Sneakers in Jax Beach for Jags Report Live. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, everybody. Thanks for watching the Jags post-game show here in the Action News Jax app. Jaguars lose 31-19 to the Arizona Cardinals.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax post-game show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.